Welcome to a meeting of Game Pass Anonymous. My name is Ren Reynolds, and I am a gamer. This is a podcast where we have in-depth discussions of games currently on Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass. This week, we started playing the 2014 game Fable Anniversary from Lionhead Studios, which is a remake of Big Blue Box's 2004 fantasy masterpiece, Fable. Would anyone else care to share?
Hi, my name is Dracos559, and I'm a gamer. Insert short riff here.
Oh, that's cheating. That's a cop-out.
It is.
Hi, I'm the Law Morris, and I'm a gamer. And I'm just wondering, just gonna stand there and look like a lemon? Chicken chaser.
Your name's Arseface. Yeah, this is a great game in 2004.
It is. Okay, it is, and you know what? It still is. And maybe I'm going to take some heat for that.
No, I agree. It's still, and like, especially for being cleaned up, it feels old. It
Absolutely.
feels very old.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's, I guess, really honestly my only complaint, I would say, is that it just feels so old. For like, it's skinned up to look clean and fancy, but then it just still feels so old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it runs like garbage in the towns.
Oh, God. It runs like garbage everywhere. I think that's my biggest
I'm playing
complaint.
it on an Xbox One X, and it's still fucking it's like garbage in the towns, which it's like,
I'm glad.
how?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're fucking loading a new map every, 20 feet I go in the world, and you're still doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And, and it's not even a problem with emulation, because it runs like garbage on the 360.
Yeah.
Huh. Hold on. How much RAM in Xbox One X? 12 gigabytes of GDDR5. So, clocked at 2. Oh, no, that's the CPU. I mean, it's 12 gigabytes of, pretty decent RAM. And
that's...
what are they doing with all the headroom?
Well,
I don't know.
Suffice to say, whoever studio ported The Witcher to the Switch did not do this.
Yeah, Saber. That's who they needed to get, because if Saber can port The Witcher to Switch, why does Fable run like this on an Xbox One X?
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yep.
Oh, man. Or that is a fair question, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that... Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the parts that... Yeah, it running like crap and it just feeling old. It's almost like there's it's juxtaposition of it feeling old but looking new.
It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. Because and as someone who never played a ton of Fable, the first one, I didn't remember how linear all of the maps are in Fable until until this, and now I'm like, oh wow, this is way more linear than I remembered it being at all. And it kind of to me started to feel almost like Gauntlet Legends, as I was commenting to you, Pat.
Yeah. I know that you hesitated because you were like, do we really want to play an open world game for this podcast? And I was like, dude, this game is not nearly as open as you are. You are being very kind in your memory to this game. Call it an open world game.
Yep.
2, because I mean, I know 2 is not that much, but 2 and 3 are more open than this, right?
2 and 3 are the same style, like a bunch of smaller areas strung together, but the areas themselves are much larger and there's a lot more in them, and there's like they don't feel nearly as much like just a path.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's why. Yeah.
Because when you veer off the path, there's really not much, not really anywhere to go.
There are there are clear places where it's like, oh, here's a little side path.
Exactly. Here's a demon door. Here's a chest. Here's something.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, it's like it's not like you really have to look for things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's basically, so far just the path between Oakvale and Bowerstone, and then there's just the little side paths that barely branch off that.
Yeah. Yeah, Oakvale and Bowerstone is really the most significant travel you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because in my playing I got further than you guys because I didn't look at the guide because I was just like, oh, this is listed before this quest, so I'm gonna do this quest, and so I don't know, fuck me, right? But you go a little ways further, but it's not like off on a side road; it's just a different road.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was saying like up to this point, the Oakvale to Bowerstone is the most significant travel we've done. I think that this game, because Ben, you were saying like it feels old. I think I totally agree with you. It definitely feels old, but I think that it benefits quite a bit from being like, it's just barely new enough that it's like, okay, this takes some adjustment and it doesn't feel super polished and super new, but it's still like 100% totally playable.
Totally. But I will say that the part of the story that we played for this episode is pretty slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Starts out cut with like a bit of a bang, and then it kind of just then there's like the training, and then it's like those early missions are a little slow. The
training where Maze is like, hit me with your lightning if you can. And I just you're not going to move, dude. Okay, I'm just going to tap the button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final test, which is just like, use the 3 attacks you've gotten. I won't move.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to move or try and defend myself at all.
Have you done any of the fighting rings in any of the towns? Because those fighting rings are so easy.
That makes sense.
I haven't done any of them. I do remember them.
That's a good way
clearly.
To get some renown,
okay.
Which you probably will need to do the mission that
the
Hob Cave.
Yeah.
Hob Cave.
Which the renown system is actually, I think, pretty cool.
Yeah, it is kind of neat.
I think that the way they offer more than just a gold bonus for or a gold reward for completing a quest, they offer renown, and they offer you I think that alone is fine, but the way that they make it so that you can kind of gamble with your reward before you've even got it with the boasts, I think is a really makes it a much more dynamic risk reward scenario.
So
sorry,
Ethan, go ahead.
I was gonna say I really like the idea of the boasts. I feel like I ran into a similar problem you ran into with the last game, Ben. I was trying to play on essentially the hardest difficulty by being like, okay, how many of these boasts can I get?
I'm just gonna do all the boasts.
I'm just gonna do all the boasts. I have not invested in my character at all, but it'll be fine. And I'm like, why is everything awful?
Yeah.
And some of the boasts I will say are just straight up not great gameplay design unless I missed something. I remember for one specific mission, it's like, okay, get through this area without killing any bandits or taking any damage for 2 separate boasts. I'm like, okay, so then that means there's a way to sneak past all the bandits.
Nope.
Nope, just run.
Yep. Nope. Just run. And I'm like,
Run
well,
and
that
don't
seems
get
dumb.
hit.
Yeah. And especially the don't kill bandits thing. I think the reward for that was 1,200 gold. But you get to a point where it's the only ways to progress are to kill a bandit to take his keys, or pay assassins 2,000 gold. And
Really?
So the only way to get the 1,200 gold is to pay 2,000 gold.
I mean,
for a distraction.
So that seems really backwards, and I'm actually going to defend that. I'm going to defend this game a lot.
Okay.
I think that's maybe a cool thing because that is distinctly the game teaching you you obviously want to do the boasts, but they're not always going to be the best thing for you.
Yeah, but there's no way of telling which boasts are going to be the best for you on some of them ahead of time.
Right. And so and I mean I think that, and now I think I'm kind of reaching here, but
yeah.
The game is life isn't fair and life is kind of shitty sometimes. And the game is kind of emulating that.
Fable is definitely notorious for that type of thing.
I feel like that's the kind of justification you can do it anytime. There's just bad gameplay design. It's I can't do this thing. It's impossible.
Life
even
isn't
though
fair.
It's implying it. Oh, life isn't fair.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I do think thematically it kind of fits for Fable because it's almost like Fable tonally I think feels very mischievous and almost like a Brothers Grimm type collection of tales. And that idea of something blatantly being unfair and not right on purpose, it kind of
Can
fits
I
with
have
that.
kids in Fable 1? Or
Yeah,
is
I think
that
so.
not introduced till 2?
No, I think you can have kids in Fable 1.
The talking is just so difficult. Or
Oh, yeah.
It's I was wow, they definitely improved on the gesture system in Fable 2
Yeah, for
and
sure.
3.
In Fable 1, all there is hey.
Well, and yeah, it's just it's hard to get to any of them and stuff, and that you can put them as shortcuts on the D-pad, but it's
Then you're wasting a shortcut on a flirt.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and also, if I remember right, in Fable 2, you can target someone and flirt with them. And when you
instead
do
of
that,
just
everyone
aggressively
knows.
targeting people.
Well, yeah, so in Fable 1, it's just say it near the person you're hoping to flirt with, and anyone nearby is going to think that you're flirting with them. And so I have 3 hearts walking around Bowerstone that I didn't mean to create. Granted, I have 4 more that I did mean to flirt with, but there are 2 dudes walking around who are just pretty, kind of crushing on me.
Are you a chick or a dude?
Well, I'm a dude, but could you choose?
I can't remember.
I think you can.
I don't think you can. In
no, you
Fable 1.
can't.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise I would choose a chick. I always play as a girl.
No.
See, y'all have the wrong focus in the towns. It's all about what I learned in Fable 3, which is cornering the real estate market.
Real estate. And every single time I've gone to buy a house, I'm oh, sweet, I have enough gold. I'm going to go buy a house. I'm going to rent it out, get some money. It's going to be awesome. Every time I've thought that, it's by the time I get back to Bowerstone to buy a house, I'm out of gold. I broke the law. I bought some armor. I very stupidly just forgot what I was on my way to do, and by the time I got there, I didn't have enough money.
Okay.
I haven't bought any armor. I'm just running around in clothes.
In the villager outfit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not the villager outfit. I sold the villager outfit and I'm using the apprentice outfit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, though, who needs armor when physical shield as a spell exists?
That's a good point. And I actually also have a bandit outfit. You guys
Oh,
both
yeah,
do.
I have that.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
And
I maybe also misread.
oh, god damn it! And
I think you just didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
we have
2 out of 3.
We can go to the tape. So I bought a little bit of armor, but I haven't bought any other spells. The only spell I have is lightning, and I'm just rocking like one-handed combat. Fireball is a really good one.
And then also the dodge one.
Oh yeah, the assassin one.
Yeah, that one's sick.
That was the first one I bought. I love that one. Although, yeah, I use it less now that
Can you set spells in different spots? Or can you only set them as B? Can you only have one spell set at a time?
I'm not sure if this was in Fable 1. I know it was in Fable 2. There is a way there's a shift button basically where you hold the shift button and it changes your face buttons so that you can have a spell on X, Y, and P.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, well, I think the shift button here is right trigger, and that just lets you like cycle through a list of what spell you want in B.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not fun.
That's where this game is showing its age.
Yeah.
It feels old.
And yeah, it's definitely why, after I got Physical Shield after Assassin Rush, because I min-max this like every RPG.
Shocker.
And I looked up, like, okay, what are the best spells in this Fable game I've never played? It's like Physical Shield, because then you can have a combat multiplier that never ends, and then you get XP like mad. I'm like, oh, and it also goes great with the fucking no damage boast that's on every single quest.
Oh, yeah, that.
So it's like, never don't use Physical Shield.
Oh, yeah, because then you could even still be naked and fucking...
Yeah, and that's a boast in a lot of them.
Which is annoying because that thing, despite the fact it just says, like, do it with no clothing, if you put on Physical Shield, it'll take it off.
Really?
It'll cancel the boast, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But at least you can get the with ass scratch, which is on every single quest and usually has a good payout.
Okay. Ethan, you're kind of approaching this with a little too much of a spreadsheet mindset.
I approach everything with a spreadsheet mindset, so I don't know what to tell you, Pat.
I
just want to just have Physical Shield and corner the real estate market. Which houses will give me the quickest break even, Pat?
And at this point, the game plays itself.
Mm-hmm. And just like in Fable 3, then you get to do everything you want with no consequences.
I mean, I just buy all the resurrection files I find.
Okay.
There's no consequences then.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only thing I've bought is a few will potions, and I stole an obsidian cleaver from a guy.
And
that was my first weapon upgrade in Oakvale.
Okay. And houses, though.
Well, yeah, and houses.
I own the house in Bowerstone, but I don't own any others.
Yeah.
That's because you're a smelly hooker.
Yeah. And further researching, I found out that you can tell villagers to follow you and then lead them into monsters and then buy their homes after they're dead.
Seriously?
And not
you
lose
can
virtue for killing them.
Demon door and kill them.
Oh yeah, that one demon door. That's a good plan. Okay, thanks for that. I'm gonna do that next time I play.
Yeah. Have you guys gone into any demon doors yet?
No, but
I went in one. It was the one that gives you like the dark will robes or whatever.
Oh, okay. So is that what you're rocking these days?
No, because especially after realizing the necessity of Physical Shield, you can only do that if you're virtuous. So it's like, guess I can't play evil.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, no. At first I wanted to go evil because, like, I was like on the fence, and then I went to the first town, and I heard children yelling "Hero, hero" over and over. I'm like, I want to be evil, just so you shut up. And then it's like,
I haven't heard anybody yell for me at all.
it's constant for me in Bowerstone of little children following me around saying "Hero, hero," and I'm like, I'd love to be evil and like make you hate me, but then I'd lose physical shield, and it's not worth it.
But the horns are badass.
Okay.
Like when you're super
Does it
I'll
have
never
horns?
see that.
It does have horns?
Yeah, when you're super evil, you grow some mean horns.
All right,
And-
that's cool.
And your skin turns all gray and you're like you get like red cracks in your like forehead.
I have blue cracks in my forehead. Right
Maybe
now.
blue, yeah. It's badass. And Ethan's just gonna grow a stupid ass halo.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably just not gonna commit all the way to virtuous. Just stay like just virtuous enough to keep my physical shield. But then it's like I still want to steal stuff.
I still want to steal. I steal all the books and I take them to the teacher.
See, I stole 2 books and sold them before even talking to the teacher, and then I'm like, shit.
Yeah, but there doesn't seem to really be much of a benefit for giving them to the teacher.
Yeah. I mean, there might be something at the like end of if you do enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it might be like the joy pendants in not Breath of the Wild.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. Yeah, thank you.
So all this stuff though is like, oh, Han has
Thank you,
2
Ben.
faces. No, all this stuff is like, I think an indication, and I think the reason why I say that this is such a good game still is because like there's so much that I'm like, yeah, I'll do that right now. Like, oh, I'm interested in this, and like it catches my interest enough to distract me from the main quest, which isn't something a whole lot of games can do really well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then you also love that it's one of the things that made you love your Xbox so much when you were
That's true.
what,
13?
10, 13?
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very nostalgic for this game. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me want to go back and play 2 and 3 because I'm like, oh yeah, 2 and 3 are just like such a refined version of this.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I have memories of something better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I even remember like I was in college and I woke up one day and I was just like browsing Reddit in the morning, and one of the like fairly high up posts on Reddit was a trailer and it just said Jack of Blades is back. And I was like, what? And I was just so psyched. And it was the trailer for this game. It was the trailer for the Anniversary Edition. And I was just so psyched at the idea of playing Fable again. And then it finally came out and I got it. And then like a week after I got it, I was playing Billy's Xbox and it red ringed. And I had an Xbox One already. And so I gave Billy my 360. And I didn't get to play it until now.
Fair enough.
So this is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You owned the physical
I own
without playing it?
Yeah, because I had to give away my 360.
Mm-hmm.
Which was
But
rough.
now you have another 360.
I actually don't.
Oh, I see. Because that game Frontline was on Xbox One.
It is backwards compatible.
Fair enough.
It wasn't on the list, and so I bought a 360. But then I was like, might as well check, and I put it in my Xbox One X, and it installed. So I returned the 360.
Nice.
So there's multiple. Are there more than one game that is backwards compatible but not on the list? I wonder.
I don't know. but I looked it up and it wasn't on the list, and so I was like, oh, I guess.
Did you make a Reddit post?
No.
In our front line?
I did not. But I should look up that community. But
So,
now, getting back to Fable.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was about to say.
This one includes the Lost chapters, right?
That's my understanding. I don't know why you would make an anniversary and
not include the DLC.
Yeah.
Or I guess expansion pack.
Yeah, because DLC wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be weird if it wasn't. Like, because I know they released like a Game of the Year edition eventually that had both.
Yeah, it was called Fable: The Lost Chapters, and it had both the standard game and the Lost Chapters all on the same disc.
Yeah, so it seems like it would be weird to not have the Lost Chapters on Anniversary. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. Like,
yeah, no, I am not nearly as frustrated as I was last week
with Batman.
It's definitely interesting seeing you guys' reaction compared to mine as someone who is not nostalgic for this game because I never played it. And also kind of hurt my own experience by playing on the hardest difficulty trying to do all the boasts. It took me a while to get into this game. I started off like really frustrated with this game just because it's like, okay, I'm trying to do these like impossible, sometimes literally impossible boasts, while, dealing with this old archaic combat system. And I'm just like, I'm getting frustrated with this. And just in general, I'm not a fan of kind of the tone that Fable games take. I kind of feel like it's like what a middle manager assumes a cartoon is like.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
It's just like,
I just
cartoon humor in it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like it's so distinct and so well refined and like its own
It's very
thing.
distinct. It's very distinct. I just don't like it.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's so like its own thing and very well defined and like very aware of what it is and what it's trying to be.
Yeah, it's like silly. It's like silliness. Well, and I think it's rooted in like British humor, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Lion's Head and Big Blue Box were both British studios.
Yeah.
Or Lionhead.
Which is why everyone is speculating that Playground is making the new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that, especially that like weird like over the top cartoon humor, and then it's like, oh, and then like his entire village was raped and burned and murdered. Bodies filled the streets, and I'm like, what tone are we going with here?
Yeah, so yes,
but then later you can murder and kill and not rape, I guess, but people in the streets. So I don't know. There's that.
Yep. I don't know.
So it's funny that you say that because like absolutely, and I think that's what separates this game is like, oh no, this is like a mature, like this is more like a grown up, like a mature cartoon, like something along the lines of like Family Guy or BoJack Horseman or Bob's Burgers or something like that, as opposed to like a just a kids show, because it's like, yeah, some of it is very childish and some of it is very like cartoony, but then at the same time, yeah, the whole town was like burned to the ground and raped and murdered, and like then there's also all these like jokes that are fairly adult.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess I would say I feel like most of those like adult cartoony stuff like do a better job of integrating the tone of the humor and stuff with the darker elements versus this. It just felt like a very clear contrast and difference for me.
Okay.
I think that the second game does that better. In my opinion.
It's been a long time since I've played the second game, so I can't say for sure. But
I've never played the second game, so I definitely can't say.
Wow, Ethan, how have you not played Fable and Fable 2?
Then you did play Fable 3.
You experienced the worst one.
Because it was in college, I think, and I want to say it was you, or
I think it was me.
Yeah, probably you. And you're like, "Oh my god, you gotta play Fable." And I'm like, I keep hearing about this game. I guess since there's a new one coming out, I'll play it.
Oh,
and then
wrong time to step in.
And I'm like, well, at least the real estate game is fun. I like how the moral of the story is if you're rich enough, then you can do whatever you want with no consequences.
Exactly.
See, I guess that kind of does, like, that's a joke that
Michael Bloomberg story.
Yeah, exactly. That's a joke that you wouldn't see in a not adult cartoon.
Yeah. And I did kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this first one it just feels gross.
Too rough.
The mix. Yeah. But I will say
Yeah.
I started this off saying like it took me a while to get into this game. Once I started like instead of just like focusing on like, okay, let me just burn through this to get to Hobbs Cave so I can like get done with what I need to get done, and started like playing around with the side mechanics, maybe it's just the fact I haven't played a good RPG in a while, but experimenting with the sorts of like all the sort of fun side things you can do, it's like, okay, like I can kind of see, especially for the time period, like why this would be like so fun, because there is a bunch of neat fun interactions you can do, like getting villagers to follow you out into the monster-infested woods, and then when they die, it's not your fault, and then you buy their house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember my mom, when I was 13, I remember we were driving somewhere, and I was telling my sister about this game, and I was like, yeah, and I told this villager to follow me, and I led them out into the woods, and then I shot an arrow right into their eye. And my mom, like, she was never one to really worry about violence in video games. Like, I got GoldenEye 007 when I was like, I think I was 7. And after that, my mom was just like, well, can't put that monkey back in the bottle. And so she just kind of she kind of trusted that, like, okay, we're going to teach him the difference rather than like suppress it, rather than not let him see it.
Okay.
But my mom heard me telling my sister, like, yeah, I led her out to the woods and I shot her in the eye with an arrow, and like her body was just laying there and there was an arrow sticking out of her head. And my mom was like, what is this game? And I was like, it's a fairy tale.
How could you even tell you shot her in the eye with how many polygons this game is created out of?
Well, so shockingly, it looked better on a CRT TV. And that's actually like, that's a theme. A lot of games look better on CRT TVs from that era because that's what they were designed for. Except on a CRT TV, I thought Maze was black.
Who?
Maze.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, which one's
That's
Maze?
weird. The wizard who's
the
like...
wizard that saves you at the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah, he's just kind of grayish.
Yeah, no, I thought he was like super black. I thought he was like thunder black.
Huh.
Yeah, he's definitely gray.
Yeah.
Or he looks gray. Maybe they decided that he shouldn't be black, that he should be gray.
That would be a weird artistic choice.
I don't know. All right. Well, we probably should wrap up our discussion for this week.
Are we going to give it a rating in progress?
Oh yeah, I guess we should do that. That is a good way to check in where we are at. Well, let's hear Ethan's, because I'm guessing his is probably going to be the lowest.
Probably. I would so far give this a 7. I would say, because I feel like there's some big gameplay issues of some boasts just being straight up impossible or unfair. I know sneaking past the initial group of bandits was something that was like infuriating for no discernible reason. I had to like look up, and like even when I did, it didn't seem right.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like starting to get into like, okay, like I'm remembering why like these good open world RPGs or open world RPGs are fun. Of like just the insane interactions you can create.
Yeah.
Is what's saving it for me.
For sure.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Pat, what do you think?
Thus far, I'm going to give it a 7.5, which I think that, like, thinking back on how I felt about this game when I was a teenager, I think I would have given it like an 8.5 or a 9. And the fact that
that's why in the intro I said the remake of Big Blue Box is 2004 fantasy masterpiece.
Yeah,
because I do think that the original game
was a masterpiece.
Yeah, and at the time it was incredible.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's really only lost about a point or maybe a point and a half, and this is like the early hours of the game, it has plenty of time to get much better.
Yeah,
I think
the story
that says a lot about how it's aged.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, I think that says a lot about how it's aged. I think that this was definitely this one, and then KOTOR came out. Did these both come out in 2004? Did Fable and KOTOR both come out in 2004? Because that's a big year for Xbox exclusive RPGs.
I am not sure when KOTOR came out off the top of my head. My mouse died.
I'll look it up. You tell us what your rating is.
I would probably go with a 7.5 as well. Yeah, like I share a lot of Ethan's complaints, but I also, it's overall, like, I think the nostalgia adds a little bit extra for me because I fondly remember the series.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it definitely like and even the music reminds me of 2 and 3 because they clearly use the same theme, or parts of the same theme.
Definitely.
Which somebody famous actually like developed the theme. I don't remember who though.
Let me look it up. Ethan, you want to riff for us?
Insert
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, it was Elfman.
Yeah, and I can totally hear that. Because,
Boingo fame.
Yeah. So, interesting. We'll see how we feel next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this meeting of Game Pass Anonymous. And if you like what you've heard, be sure to rate and subscribe. Join us next week when we will be wrapping up Fable Anniversary, and be sure to check out our other podcast, HardReset and No Refunds. Also check out ColdNorthPro.com, where you can see everything we do all in one place. And see you next week.